It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've literally just arrived here at Kraków Główny, and I have about 6 hours here till about 4 o'clock this afternoon, when I need to be back here to get myself another train from Kraków all the way to Warsaw. So that's right, guys, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you know we've gone from Poznan, Gdansk, Kraków, Warsaw, and then we'll be going back to Poznan. Absolute mad few days. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's actually a good laugh going everywhere so quick, because you really feel like you have to make the most of the time. I've got limited time on this trip, so we're really packing in everything we can, which is what we like to do here on the Galavanta channel. Right, step one, we're going to go straight to the old town, Stare Miasto, get ourselves in there, get to the square, have a look about, see the cathedral, see the horses and the carriages. I have been here before many years ago, like 6 years ago I think I was here properly. I was here maybe like 3 years ago, but just briefly popped in and out. I didn't really do anything. I was just getting a connection. I think I just flew to Kraków and then took a train to Warsaw, because I was staying in Warsaw at the time. But since I've been here probably like 6 years ago, guys, it was a long time ago, and it was a very hot summer then. I was getting baked. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, can you believe it? Me in shorts. I know what you're saying, Don never wears shorts, but in that occasion I made an exception. So we're going to get ourselves down here from the main station, which has a mall attached to it, which, similar to in Poznan, the train station there has a mall to it. In Gdansk, it's not the same. Gdansk station was very much just the station, but a beautiful station it was. I think it's the best looking station so far that I've seen in Poland. Wrocław's very nice. It doesn't have a mall, but it has a lot of shops. But Wrocław's is nice, but I don't think it's as nice as Gdansk. Gdansk has just absolute beautiful train station, especially with the big clock tower. And I know there's a clock tower in Wrocław, but it's not as grandiose, one might say. So we're going to walk down here. I still know my way, even though it's been a long time. I'm like a pigeon, guys, when it comes to directions. Anyone who knows me, go somewhere once and know it forever. Mumbai, been there once. I'm like a local, I can get around everywhere, don't you worry about me. So we're going to get ourselves down here into the old town, and we'll just see what's cracking. Again, guys, when you're in like these little subway underpasses and stuff in Poland, you're always going to see like donut shops. I don't know why it's always donut shops, but there's always donut shops. And you'll get like your normal clothes shops, your souvenirs. And you're going to see these are really a Kraków thing. It's these little round breads. They look almost like a bagel. They're not a bagel. And you might be, you know what it is, guys, if you're in town for the first time, give it a go, right? But set your expectations very low, because they're just terrible. I've tried them a couple of times, because I thought maybe the first one I tried was just not very good. No, they're just like these really dry, stale like bread. I don't know if they're like a precursor to the bagel, but they're no bagel, guys. They're absolutely horrendous. Like, it's like eating sawdust. Wouldn't recommend. I'd give it a miss. They're very cheap, so try one. They cost like pennies, but they cost pennies for a reason. We'll just put it that way. You'll often see them in these little blue carts, like the guy down there. I don't want to go over to him and just insult the man to his face with what he's selling, but it's horrendous. I say horrendous, it doesn't taste bad, it doesn't taste of much, it's just dry. It's just bad bread. But we're in quite an interesting place right now. This is a park that runs the entire perimeter of the old town, which is great. So, I remember a while back when my parents were coming here for the first time, they wanted to find somewhere to stay, and they'd booked somewhere, and they were a bit concerned that it's going to be too far from the square. And I looked where they'd booked, and if you're within the perimeter of this park, if you look on a map, you'll see it just goes around the entire area. If you're within the park perimeter, you're like 2 seconds from the center, so don't worry about it. Even if you're outside. First time I stayed here, we were outside. It was like a 5-minute walk, it's fine. But it's a really nice little park. It just runs the perimeter of the old town. So it's nice, you can just stroll along the whole thing as well. Very nice, get a cup of coffee, job's good. Oh, here's another one of them carts selling the bread. The bad bagels, we can call them. Very common here. You'll see that all of them same blue stalls. Three zloty 70 groszy. Prices have gone up, guys. They were cheaper than that back in the day. But still, it's less than £1. And it's still too much for what it is. So yeah, guys, along the way here, just on the perimeter of that park, I'm assuming it might have been sort of the old city walls area, because we do have some defensive structures here that are still left over, and the gates. But again, once you're in the old towns in Poland, they're just all so nice. Now remember, this is like proper ancient stuff, because this was the old capital before Warsaw. And to my knowledge, of course this place will have got hit during the Second World War, but it didn't get hit as bad as like Warsaw. Warsaw just got completely flattened, there's like nothing left. Here there's still quite a lot of old stuff still remaining. We'll go through here actually, we're going away from the centre now, but just to show you this area. It's like the old gate and fort there. So yeah, this behind me, this is the Barbican, which is like the old, it's like an old defensive structure from like the 1490s. Of course, there's been restorations done along the way, but it's a huge defensive structure and you can see all the little windows. I guess that's why people would be chucking things at you if you try to get in there. But nice, impressive structure, and you can walk around it, which we'll do now, and then we'll head ourselves into finally into the centre. But you'll find if you get a tour, or if you're going on a tour, they'll take you here. But there's just remember, you can pretty much sum everything up online. You don't need these tour guides. I never use them myself. And you've got bits of art as well in the park. I mean, there's nothing stopping you following along one of these tour guides if you really want to. You don't have to pay. That's a big wooden door, isn't it? Oh yeah, there's trams everywhere, of course. We're in Poland, right? So trams are everywhere. Very cheap, very affordable, very punctual. Great way to get around the city. But I mean, just look at how nice the city is. We've got a nice big monument there. We've got trams going past, beautiful buildings. The Barbican. I think that's pretty great. Let's head into, well, we'll do a full circle. We'll do it, might as well, come on. We'd be rude not to do a full circle. We'll do a full circle and we'll get into the old square. So you can see there's sort of like a moat here as well. Filled with lovely vegetation and just little holes there. I guess, you know, of course, so it's easy to shoot out, not easy to shoot in. I assume they'd have had like archers or spearmen, and if you were getting very close, they'll drop big rocks on you. And maybe pots of oil. Or maybe giant pots of frothy milk like in Shrek 2. Fantastic film. But yes, you can see how deep it gets here as well. So now that we've done a full circle, we'll get ourselves through the old gate here as well, which is a great structure. And it's got the Polish coat of arms on there with the classic eagle, which you can see right there. We've got a nice shrine here to Mary and Jesus, I'm guessing. Remember, Poland is quite a religious country, specifically a Catholic country, just like your boy. But yeah, this goes on, there's quite a bit here. There's all sorts going on, people selling art. I mean, this is quite a hustle and bustle town, so you will see people doing like street art, street performances, especially as we get into the square. And there's tons of like shops selling jewelry, souvenirs. I actually do not need a fridge magnet from this place because I already have a Kraków fridge magnet which I acquired many years ago, so we'll not be doing that today, guys. Little pastry shop there selling macarons, ice cream, sort of handmade local rolling pins for making the cookies and stuff. And a kebab shop. There's always a kebab shop. I'm not a huge kebab guy, unless I've had a lot to drink. So we can see in front of us here, that main square's coming up. So we can see right down there St. Mary's Basilica as well, which is absolutely beautiful on the inside. Although I do believe you have to pay, which I must say, I am not a fan of paying to go into churches. I find it almost sacrilege to do so. Got a wax museum. We've got Dobby. Ugly bugger. But yeah, there's no shortage of good pubs in Kraków as well, I must say. The only problem is I've only got a little bit of time here, and if I go into a pub, I'm going to get stuck there for the rest of the day, and that's no good for me. It's no good for you. It might be funny actually to see me get drunk on camera, but not today, because I've also got a train to catch. I can't be missing that. So again, I'm not staying in this city tonight, I'm actually staying a night in Warsaw. Again, more donuts, more pączki. Dobre pączki. Pączkarnia is everywhere, you always see that brand. It's like a big chain of donut shops. More amber. Again, amber we saw a lot in Gdansk, but it's also very popular here as well. A lot of mines and stuff here. All right, that's it. One thing I must say, guys, if you come to Kraków and you've got a few days, I'm only here for 6 hours. But if you've got a few days, you have to go to Wieleczka. It's a separate city about an hour away on the train. Or 20, actually it might be less. No, sorry, 20, 30 minutes on the train. It's got the salt mine. You've got to do the salt mine. It's one of the best, yeah, it's touristy, but it's one of the best touristy things I've ever done. It is so much fun, it lasts for ages. Just be prepared to go down a lot of steps. It's like 800 steps down, but there is a lift up, so you don't have to come back up that way. There's like a whole church inside. It's incredible what they've carved out of the salt. Absolutely beautiful. Good for your lungs too, apparently. Very antibacterial, all that good stuff. For some reason, we have an Estonian flag flying out of someone's window. It's a bit odd. But yeah, it's quite busy today, guys. Quite a busy city. We see here is although we got pretzels and things like that. And the pretzels are good. The other little round things we see are not good. They look a little bit like a cross between a pretzel and a bagel. They are terrible. But the actual pretzels here are very good. Especially if you get yourself a nice apple cinnamon one, or maybe a little cheese filled one. You get them all sorts. You get them covered in salt. You name it, you can get it. Again, more pączki all over the place. Poles love their donuts. More pączki. And they love ice cream. You'll see shops that says a lodder. In English, you'd probably pronounce it like loddy, but that's ice cream. And I tell you what, guys, the Poles love their ice cream. It's everywhere. And it's good too. It's actually really, really nice. And everywhere tends to have like at least one unique flavour. So if I can ever find someone that has like Ferrero Rocher, I'm always down for that. Or a good pistachio always hits the spot as well. But here we are, guys, really close to the Basilica now. It's getting a bit of work done to it. Right then, guys, we've made it to the square. The old square with the huge market hall in the middle here. Right, guys, so this is Europe's largest medieval square because this has been a square for a mighty long time. Of course, there's other squares in different countries that are larger, but they haven't been around this long. This is, I mean, when you're here, you can see this. When you're really here, you can feel the scale. It's massive, especially with that basilica there. And it's just littered with restaurants and bars all the way around, which is great. And in the center here we have the cloth hall. So the cloth hall is literally, is what it sounds like. Back in the day, there's a guy with a fountain there. Back in the day, basically traders would come from near and far to basically sell cloth and fabrics and textiles, and they would do it in here. And obviously it's still open today. It's not so much about cloths and textiles as it is about tacky souvenirs, but we'll have a look through. I'll show you what it's like. And it is worth a visit. I mean, if you're already in the square, you might as well pop in. It is a beautiful building from the outside. I love the way it looks. But you can see here, souvenir shop, souvenir shop, souvenir shop. Again, we have some monuments and statues and fountains in the square as well. And people do performances here. On a night, it's really nice. It just has a very good vibe. I always say this as well, if you only visit one city in Poland, if you only come to Poland for the first time, you only visit one city, you visit Kraków. It is the best to visit. I think it's the most set up for tourists and there's a lot of things to do. You can go to the salt mine. After that, I would say Wrocław actually is fantastic, underrated. Right, so some things look closed. It's a bit dark in here. But yes, you can see all the way down here, and it's basically souvenirs, 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 souvenirs. You will get some people selling some handmade stuff, which is cool, but a lot of it is like your caps, your magnets. You do have the amber stuff. Got some religious iconography rather, if I can say that in English, as well, and your magnets. It's basically all the same task, to be honest, which I actually do quite like. I'm not gonna lie, I love a fridge magnet, but like I say, I've already procured one of those in a past life, and I don't need another. There's only so much space on the fridge, but some shut stalls is a rare sight. They don't usually shut. and it is quite quiet, but it is a Thursday afternoon, so Thursday morning. It's a Thursday morning, guys. I've been up and going for so long, I don't know what day it is, what time it is. More t-shirts, like I Heart Poland. Some traditional dress stuff, more amber things, some guns. You won't get that on the plane. Other bits and bobs like that. So yes, guys, it's worth a visit, but just, you know, have low expectations. It's just a giant gift shop, really. There's plenty of other cool things to do in Kraków, but that, yeah, you know, walk through, have a look. Just enjoy the square. Oh yeah, there's another tower here as well, with a nice big clock on top. We've even got a nun, guys. Isn't that wonderful? So yeah, guys, this is the town hall tower. As you can see, it's quite big. I have to tilt you quite a bit to get it in shot. But I do like it, actually. It's got a nice, adds a nice touch. It's kind of funny to me because it's like quite open expanse of space and you've just got a tower. Instead of it being like a bit more built out, like in Poznan, it's built out a little more, then it goes up. This is just whoosh, straight up. But I kind of like it. And yeah, this is the cloth hall from the other side as well. A little behind the scenes for you guys. I'm in Starbucks at the minute. You've got to keep your things charged, guys, because there was no plug on that train, and your boy's got like a couple of days on the go here. Everything's draining. I've got a lot of batteries, but still draining. I've got to move things over to the laptop. You know, I haven't got infinite memory cards and stuff. So we've got ourselves a little flat wide. But we're charging up. This little boy's a godsend with all this extra little plugs. So that's what happens on the road, guys, behind the scenes. One of the things I really love about St. Mary's Basilica is that it's not symmetrical, which is quite rare. Usually if you've got a double-towered church or basilica or cathedral, they're usually identical, but these are different actually. One slightly taller than the other, and just the design-wise, you can't really see because one of them's covered in scaffolding, but they are different. Now, one thing that's super interesting about this place actually, on the taller tower, every day, every hour of every day, 365, there's a guy that pops out with a trumpet and plays a little tune. And he's known as the Hajnał Mariacki. So this is our trumpet boy. He pops out of the tallest tower, and this is like almost like a sign of honor or respect to the original guy that used to do this many years ago, who actually got killed. What he was doing was he was alerting the city of the Mongols that were invading. Because if you don't know, guys, obviously we've all heard of Genghis Khan and the Mongols, and they stretched as far as Eastern Russia, and they came all the far west to Poland. Basically, they came right. I mean, second largest empire in the world. After the British one, of course, guys. You know, we take #1 spot there. But yeah, so every hour this guy pops out and he plays a tune, because what happened to the original guy is he came out to warn the city that the Mongols are coming, and he actually got shot in the throat by an arrow. So you got to think, from down here, that's a hell of a shot. So fair play to the Mongol that made that shot. That's 1 in a million. Bad luck to the trumpeter that's brown bread. But yes, to commemorate that, every literally 24/7, 365, our boy is up there playing. I assume they have a couple of guys doing it, but playing the trumpet. So we'll come back here on the hour and we'll see if we can get a little clip of him doing it. But he is right up the top. You can't usually see him too well. I might have to use my phone because I can zoom in a little bit better with that to get some footage for you guys. But yeah, guys, there's always something interesting happening here in the square of Kraków. So guys, yes, once you've had your fun here in the square, you've seen the Basilica, you can go inside. It is beautiful, but there's a bit of a queue there at the minute, and I'm a bit pinched for time. And again, I don't like paying to go into churches. It just doesn't sit right with me. If there's a donation, that's fine, but when it's obligatory, I don't know, just aren't churches meant to be for everybody? Not a fan of that. And the Catholic Church has more than enough money, you know what I mean? Like, as a Catholic, I know all about that. But if you just go this way from the Basilica, go down here and turn left, and just keep going straight down there, you'll find yourself at the castle, which is where we're going to go now. We're going to have a little look at that. There's some lovely gardens, very pretty place, and there's even a fire-breathing dragon at the bottom, which I'll show you when we get there. Yeah, guys, so if you just keep going down that road, you'll pass loads of different like restaurants and bars and things like that. And if you ever want to try sort of authentic Polish food that doesn't break the bank, you always want to find yourself like a bar mleczne. And those are basically translates to milk bar, and they don't just serve glasses of milk. It's not like a milkshake place. But they're a bit of a throwback. They were really popular during communist times. They didn't start in communist times, but they are very popular then. And that's where you get very like common Polish food, like cutlet schabowe, like what we would call a schnitzel. You would get bigos, hunter's stew. You would get pierogi. You get all that sort of stuff. The really traditional things that are super delicious. Chłodnik, barszcz, the pink soup, the red soup. Yeah, lots of things to try there, and it's always really affordable. You can wash it down with a nice compote. I actually have a video on the channel where I was in Warsaw visiting different milk bars. One of them was not so good, but the other two were fantastic. So I can put a little card on the screen now if you want to check that out. But yeah, a lot of them are quite similar, and they offer very similar sort of products, but they are usually pretty good, especially if you see locals in them. But much cheaper than like a sort of touristy trap area. They do look a bit basic inside. They do look like a throwback to the 1970s often, but that's kind of part of the charm. So yeah, if we keep coming down this road as well, we'll see we've got a really nice, another church. Guys, this is actually St. Peter and Paul's church here. We go over the road. And one thing that's really interesting about the place, and quite unique, and I really like it, actually the facade's made out of dolomite as well apparently, which is a unique material, not typically used for churches. It's meant to resemble one of those that's in Rome, for instance. But you'll see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 statues outside. Now, what can you think that would be? 12 men related to Christianity. Of course, it's the apostles. We've got our lovely apostles on the outside of the church. Let's get a little bit closer and have a look at some of them. I can't tell who's who, but really cool. Big fan. Looks like they hold concerts and stuff in here. Let's see if we can go inside. If I don't have to pay, I will go. I do not like paying to go into churches. Like I've said a million times, I think it's somewhat sacrilege. Kind of defeats the purpose of Christianity, in my opinion. I'll be quite quiet in here because a lot of people are praying, but what a beautiful church. I don't think I've actually been in here before. I've been in the Basilica, which you have to pay for, but this is free, so that's a lot more Christian value in my opinion. So yeah, if you guys are going to pop down to the castle, definitely come down here. It's really nice. That's a quick little overview. I don't disturb people with my camera, but now we'll get back outside and we'll move on down to the castle. Well, that was an absolutely lovely experience. Got a nice little garden outside as well here. And at night it's very cool because they have these lights as well, and they light up all our guys. I'm not sure who everybody is here. I know we've got the apostles on the outside. I don't know if some of them might be different saints or angels further up. I'm not too sure. But nevertheless, really pretty place, and yeah, definitely worth a visit. Pop in. Architecturally in there, absolutely beautiful. And there's more here as well. This might be the presbytery or something. You've got a little square just outside. Lots going on. Really, really beautiful place. Definitely worth a visit. And if we just come out, turn left and keep going down here, we'll be on our way to the castle in no time. Actually, something I've just noted, guys, that's quite odd for Kraków, is there's usually horses and carriages going down the streets all the time. There's usually these nice guys with top hats and horses with white carriages, and tourists can get on them and things like that, and it's quite nice. It really adds a nice vibe to the city. But obviously you do get some horse poop on the floor usually, but there's none here. I don't smell horses. I haven't heard any clip-clops. I haven't seen anything actually, which is a bit odd. I don't know if they've stopped them for some reason, but it was actually really added a nice charm to the city. Almost a little bit like Vienna. You get them in Vienna as well, which is quite nice. So here we are, guys, at the bottom of the castle. So you can see the huge castle walls just here. Big bricks. They love the bricks down here. It's quite a big castle. Now what's funny is that This is kind of like the highest point, I guess, in Kraków. It's a pretty flat city for the most part, which makes exploring it quite easy. It's a complete contrast to, let's say, somewhere like Edinburgh, where the whole thing's hilly and banky, and you've got the castle built on a big hill, well, an extinct volcano. This is completely different, but really nice. So guys, this is new for me because I've come up the other way before, but I thought we'll do something a little bit different and we'll come up this way. This way seems a little steeper but a little bit shorter. A lot of construction going on in Kraków at the minute. The first Basilica, now the castle. And look who we have here. It wouldn't be Poland without Jan Paweł II. Totos tus. He's everywhere. But look at the beautiful, look at the architecture. How beautiful is that? Got a nice big clock up the top there. We've got a priest. Now, this place does have an interior that you can go into. You have to pay for it, and it's actually not just one interior. There's multiple sections, and each one has a separate sort of administration fee. So if you want to sort of visit the whole castle, it'll take quite a while, and you'll probably have to fork out a few bob. I've been into one section before. It was quite anticlimactic for me personally. I think the outside and the gardens is where you want to be. Just come up and have a look rather than go inside. Like I say, I'm no expert. There might be other parts inside that are really worth visiting. For me, it wasn't. It was meh. That's the money shot right there. That's beautiful. That golden dome. Got the statues, crosses. Absolutely beautiful architecture. I like the mix of materials as well. You've got those the red bricks. You've got the sort of like white brick, like a sand limestone exterior there, and the gold. The windows, different types. You've got a little bit of stained glass there. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. And again, you've got things like you've got the ivy growing up the sides. It's really nice, different trees. And then these sort of gardens here. You're walking on the grass, guys. Absolutely fantastic. They've got gift shops and stuff here as well, of course. Don't blame them, they've got to make the money. You can't be cheap to upkeep this sort of stuff. We've got these other parts of the castle up here. What we'll do, we'll go over there and we'll have a look at the wall. Oh yes, there is a restaurant and stuff up here. You can get yourself a drink, I believe. A snack. And there's a toilet there with a massive queue. I do need the toilet, but I don't fancy waiting in a massive queue that you've got to pay for the toilet as well. Brutal. No, we're not doing that, guys. I'd rather hold it. So they've got ice cream and cakes, cream cakes, tarts, juices, milkshakes, a lot. It's like your typical sort of touristy thing, right? So even if you were visiting a castle in the UK, there's always like a cafe selling that sort of stuff. Got to keep the people refreshed. So I think we'll have a little walk around these gardens. Got some beautifully manicured flowers here. Look at that, how lovely is that? Lots of lovely colours, and because it's summer at the right time of year, we can see all these different things. I think it's absolutely wonderful. You can smell those floral hints. We've even got a little bumblebee. That's what we like to see. So we're just going to have a little walk around here, and then we'll go down the way that I've come up before, because I've never been up that side before. And then I guess we'll go and see the dragon. Got to get those photographs, guys. Definitely a good place to get some pics. It's a good sign when you see lots of bees. Just as you come out of the courtyard there in the castle, you come out to this little bit on the other side that we went up, and you can see the river here, which is really nice. You've got little boats going along, sometimes they do tours. You've got a little Ferris wheel down there, and I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, just there, there's a balloon, and essentially it's like a hot air balloon on a string, or a rope, more like a rope than a string. And you can go up for like 20 minutes or whatever, then they bring you back down. It's a good laugh. I've heard it's not on every day, it depends on the weather. Obviously if it's windy, they're not going to do it. But I guess it could be a good laugh to do that. Probably not by yourself. If you're with someone, it's probably more fun. Same with the Ferris wheel, right? You're not going to go on that by yourself. I could, but it's not my cup of tea. We've got little boat tours. We've got obviously school tours here. We've got the kids going along. It's a really nice, calm place. Nice walk along the river. It's nice to cycle along here as well. Give you a little pan over. There's also lots of places to get a drink down here. So down there, I believe you can get a drink just by the river on that boat. There's tons of stuff to do. Just get a nice view of the city from here. Of course, this is the other side than where we just were at. The Basilica is that side, so we're looking at the other part of the city, where it's a little bit less dense, which is pretty cool. So you got the Dragon's Den, like I was telling you guys, there is a fire-breathing dragon. It's actually not up here, it's down there, but maybe you can see it from the top, I'm not sure. So yeah guys, once you leave the castle grounds from where we just were there, this is the way I've typically come up to this castle. It's much longer, but it's not as steep. So if you've got a gammy knee, or if you're with someone in a wheelchair or something like that, it's going to be much easier to take them up this way. There is a ramp on the other one, but you can see here, it's a lot longer. So if it's longer and it's the same total elevation you're going up, the gradient's just way less. So yeah, you'll be pushing them for longer, but it's going to be a lot easier for you to get them up here. And it also seems a lot less busy. I wasn't even aware of the other entrance. I thought this was the only one, so I'm learning things too on this trip. But you also get to see another part of the castle, which is really nice actually, with this this side of the building covered in ivy. And another one of the defensive towers there as well. And you've got a little stop point here as well with a nice tree. You can stop here and have a look. So we'll go over and we'll just see what we can see from here. Yeah, similar to what we could see at the top, just another viewpoint down here. A little bit closer to the river and the bridge there. Alright, let's keep on moving down the street. And a pretty street it is. So we're going through the gate here with the ivy on. I quite like the look of it. It's got some more modern bollards there, but needs must. Through the iron gate. So he's drove up here. That's cheating, guys. We've got to walk it. So you can also turn right over here and go down this sort of path. But again, that's not the one I'm used to. The one I'm used to, you just keep going straight down here. So I'll show you that. This is the road I'm talking about here. So you can just go all the way down. And like I said, it's not very steep. It's just quite long. So if you are, let's say, with someone with a wheelchair or you've got a gammy knee or something, this is definitely the better route to take. But for the sake of novelty, I think we will go down this part this time. I've never been down here, so we'll have a little look. I know where it leads, but it's good fun to take a different route. A little steeper, but it's okay when you're going down. I can't believe the brain rot's got this bag. Tung 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 saho. Tralalero tralala. What's the world come to, guys? Yes, now that we're down by the river, it's a little more gusty, which is quite nice because it's still a bit warm today. The air's nice and fresh. And we'll just go over to see the dragon, the fire-breathing dragon. Well guys, a bit of a fail here. Here's the dragon, but because there's some ladders on it, I'm assuming it's not in action at the minute. Although I could have sworn I heard the noise of the gas. Basically, it has gas shoot out of its mouth that ignites and it breathes fire. It's a really nice little touch here at the base of the castle, but I'm guessing because there's ladders there, it's not in operation. They must be doing some maintenance to it. But maybe when you come, it'll be working. Looks like they've got the Polish equivalent of the Walk of Fame that they have in Hollywood. But I don't know who any of these people are.
I think Glasgow has.
It looks like the horse and carriages are still going then, which is great. I think that adds such a nice touch to the city. That's the only one I've seen so far today. Usually there's tons of them. Maybe it's just, I was going to say maybe it's not the season, but it's summer, right? This is tourist season. It's July. Strange. Unfortunately guys, it started to rain, so we're going to have to try and seek some cover somewhere, methinks. So I haven't got a waterproof, I've just got my Galavanta hoodie, guys, which is available at galavanta.store. Get yourself over there, it'll keep you warm, it'll keep you toasty, it will not keep you dry. Unfortunately, I can't offer that promise, but it will keep you nice and warm and comfortable. And it'll support the channel, and the more you buy, the more videos you get, because making videos ain't cheap and I ain't rich. But anyway, let's move on, and I think it's time for a spot of lunch. Right guys, I'm in Nowy Plac, basically New Square here in Kraków, and I'm going to be trying a very popular Polish food for the very first time, a zapiekanka. Now, I've been coming here for years, and I've actually never tried one, which is so weird to say. It's almost like pączki. I've never had a pączki. I've had everything else. I've had dyżurek, I've had like very local Easter things, like the cow made of butter, all these little funny things that you would never normally try as a tourist, but the obvious things I've actually missed. So we're going to go here. We've got this funny building. I don't know how many sides it's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I was going to say octagonal building, but it's actually got way more than that. I'm not sure how many sides it's got, maybe 10 or 12. But what we'll do is we'll get ourselves a zapiekanka from this place here. This seems to be the place to get them. There's all sorts here as well, like chicken and crepes and falafel. And they've got like your souvenirs and stuff. So we'll get our zapiekanka and then I'll join you back. But I think, let's have a look at the menu actually first. You've got standard, which is just I think like cheese and mushrooms. But I did see earlier there's one that stuck out to me. I think we'll go for something a little spicy. We'll go for the chick one. Hello, could I have the kurczakiem na ostro, proszę, I Pepsi. Ostra I czosnkowe. Kartofle, proszę. Dziękuję. Now I looked online first before I got here, and there was one like chicken from hell, but I couldn't see it. So unless this is a different place, there might be multiple on the same one, but it doesn't really matter. I just want to try one. Little chicken, little jalapeno, that'll be tasty enough for me. Oh yeah, hell's chicken. Okay. Well, we've come up with a different one. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it'll be nice all the same. Right, zapiekanka has been acquired, and by jingo, it's like a boat. It's a massive, look at the size of that. It smells good. I really smell the jalapeno. By jingo, it weighs an absolute ton. It's thick. It's a thick boy. Let me sit you down here and I'll try and eat this and avoid these pigeons from stealing my food. So yeah, this in total cost me, I've got the receipts, guys. It cost me 31 zloty, 8 of which was my drink. So it was 25, there, is that right? Apparently zapiekanka was 22, because I got an extra sauce, that's an extra zloty, and then my drink was 8. So that's not bad, that's pretty good. I put the price conversion on the screen as I always do, but that's a pretty good price for how much you get in there. That's massive. There's a bottle of Pepsi for scale. Alright, let's tackle this bad boy and try not to get too messy. I did pick up some extra napkins, because you know how we do. Roll my Galavanta sleeves up. So we got some chicken, cheese, mushrooms. I got spicy sauce and garlic sauce, jalapenos, and chicken and bits and bobs, and this, that, and the other, and a really quite thick piece of bread. Very tasty, really, really crispy on the outside, so fluffy on the inside, the bread. Toppings are nice. Spicy sauce actually has a little bit of a kick to it, which is nice. The garlic's nice and creamy. Yeah, let's keep going down. It's a messy boy, but it's really good. Nice and savoury, and the mushrooms are a nice touch. I was wondering as well at first, like 22 zloty or whatever it was, like nearly a £5. It's quite a bit for just a little baguette thing, but for the price, it's actually really good value for money. I imagine this is great when you're drunk. Again, link will be in the description, as everywhere is that I eat. I always put a Google Maps link so you can get straight here. Instead of a website link, I don't like website links as much because sometimes it's difficult to find the place or they have multiple branches. I just put the Google Maps link, you can just go straight there. Right guys, I'm going to enjoy this, and then I guess we'll do a little more exploring, but we might have to go to our train because, like I say, I don't have a lot of time here, so I've just been sort of mooching about, seeing some of the sights and then getting a bite to eat, but this will definitely time me over till tea time for sure, if I even want tea. But after this I'll be going to Warsaw, so maybe I'll get something to eat there, I'm not really sure. Well guys, last bite, that was actually somewhat of a struggle. I would really suggest just getting one of those to share. I probably have sauce all around my mouth. I've used about 5 napkins. It was a very messy endeavour. I think I've had enough bread for the week. But it was tasty, but I would just split one. They're huge, and I'm a big guy. And I struggled to finish that. We lost a couple of jalapenos along the way, and the pigeons don't half harass you here, but if you drop a jalapeno, they'll look at it and they won't touch it, so they've obviously been burnt before, they know not to go for the jalapenos. Let's go pop the zip bin. A value for money there, yeah, can't be beat really. You're not going to be hungry after that. I'm stuffed. I don't know if I'll eat anything for the rest of the day. Oy vey, as you can tell, we're in the Jewish quarter, Kazimierz, which used to be a separate city back in the day. Back in the 14th century, it was actually its own place, and then it got integrated into Kraków later. Around 60,000 people used to call this home before the Second World War, and of course we all know what went down there. Most Jews here got relocated to like the Jewish ghetto, which is another part not too far away from here in Kraków, and then later shipped off to you know where. But this place has had a bit of a revival since then. It's got a lot of like little hip places and little galleries and cafes and stuff like that, and there's still the old synagogue here you can go in and visit. And if you want to get some food that'll give you some chutzpah, you can get it here too. There's some Jewish restaurants here as well where you can get some sort of Ashkenazi food, which is quite interesting actually. I was here, like I said, many years ago, and I did pop down to this part and had some like Jewish style dumplings, and they were pretty damn tasty. There's like a little square down here where it opens up and you'll see where the restaurants are. Yes, so this is the square here, and we can see there even some like Hebrew script. That might be Hebrew or Yiddish, I'm not too sure in this part, what that will actually be, but it's Jewish writing nonetheless. And yes, you can get like really good traditional Jewish food here. It's actually quite tasty. And it's kosher. And here's the old synagogue, which is shut at the minute, but oftentimes you can go in. And you're going to get a lot of tours that come here. And we got a nice American there giving everybody a lovely tour of the Jewish quarter. Isn't that awesome? But yes, this place, you can get yourself a good pint and a good meal. I remember last time I was here, actually it was a Jewish family visiting from France who was sat opposite my table, and quite a nice group indeed, very friendly. I think they used to have relatives back here back in the day, so they were visiting for that. You do get a lot of Jews that come here for like a sort of, almost like a bit of a pilgrimage, because a lot of people had family in Poland and a lot in Kraków. Yes, I think it was here, I think it was Ariel, that's how you say it. It was one of these ones on this side, Hammerby Bulberstein. So of course the Jews are divided into multiple sects, such as the Sephardic and things like that, but their food's a lot different. This is all Ashkenazi, this is Eastern European Jewish food. So no pork on the menu today. We've even got ourselves a Star of David. Yeah, so we've got a Star of David here. Martyrdom of 65,000 Polish citizens of Jewish nationality from Kraków, and its invarious killed by the Nazis during World War II. Yeah, so 65,000 there, or 66,000 there about lived here, and obviously most of them perished. But it's still interesting to come back here. There's a ton of history, and like I said, the food's pretty good, which is what I care about, so definitely worth visiting. But it's only small, it's literally just what I've shown you. The walk around here, this square, like yeah, hummus and happiness, the Jewish shop, and then this square. And that's basically it. There's like little offshoot bits, but that's the main part, so yeah, it's worth a visit. If you're already here, you might as well pop down. If you fancy trying some Jewish food, it's pretty good, you know. Or if you're a Jew yourself, you know you're going to get yourself a kosher meal. So yeah, it's a chill little neighbourhood, and there's always something happening. And like this, there's lots of nice little cafes all around the way. Definitely worth checking out. Well guys, the weather's made a turn for the worse, but that's okay. because we're almost out of this place. We'll be getting our train very shortly, but I thought we'll come back to the square to end this, and we'll wait for our boy with the bugle or the trumpet. I'm not quite sure which one it is, but he's going to be up there, and he's going to play us a lovely little tune, and we'll be able to end on that literal note. So I'll hang around for a few more minutes because it is currently 15:54 and he'll not play till 4 o'clock. So we'll give it a few minutes. What I'll do is actually I'll probably go hide under there or in these, hide with the flowers. And we'll get ready for the bugle. Well guys, on that literal note, we'll end the vlog. He's doing it for the very last time up there, pointing at the other side that we can't really see properly. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.